Okay, hello everyone. This is the first YouTube video I've made in a while. Some of you will be happy to have me back. So this video today is actually going to be the first in a series of how the start of 2016 went for me. So fortunately I did stream and record some of my gameplay around that time. So I've got a lot of hours of me playing that we can go through and analyze. So the whole point of this series in particular is, well, there's a couple of reasons why I'm doing it. The first one is it was an unofficial bankroll challenge. So I think around January or the start of January, or the end of December, I don't think I was doing too good at 200 NL or 100 NL. So having like gone on a downswing there, I think I just went back to, I think I withdrew pretty much all my money from stars, and with like, I think it was like 20 buy-in bankroll management, I think I spun this up. So this was from, if I'm correct, it was like January 1st, and then this date here was the 28th of March. So that's like 3 and a bit months, or maybe pretty much 4 months. So with some rake back it was okay, and like there's a lot of dead time here, but it's just kind of cool to do an unofficial bankroll challenge. I might be doing one similar soon, and if I do all of that, I'll hopefully record all of this kind of time frame as well, whereas the only content I actually have from this stretch is like 400k hands onwards. So although we're back at 200 NL for this stretch, 200 and 100, yeah, I'm missing a lot of the lower stakes stuff and how I was playing there. Another reason why I'm going to make this series is kind of to do some like revision for me and like see how I was playing then, because I've never really produced a graph like this. Like in terms of buy-ins, this was like 107 buy-ins, I think, maybe more. It's pretty rare given the A8 table that I have like a really good pre-rake back win rate. So this was a pretty good winning stretch for me, and this obviously doesn't have any rake back on it, which would have been quite substantial as well. So yeah, I think that's all I have to say regarding this graph. So this is actually a screenshot from a video we'll come to later in the series, and then how I structure the content is a bit mixed. So the way I'm going to do this one is I went through like an hour's worth of gameplay, cut out all the boring bits and just left in the hands I wanted to analyze. I think I disproportionately won too many hands in this kind of stretch, but there's definitely the whole point is that I will be analyzing hands I do lose and what I could have done better. But I think today it will mainly be me winning, and you know there's 7 minutes here, so yeah, we'll just see how we get on, how we do, and what hands we could have maybe played better. I have to turn off the music because we have some copyright issues with YouTube. So it will just be me commentating, and then maybe if I get a good like playlist which is not copyrighted, I can have me talking and have some background music as well. So yeah, this guy limped under the gun. This is the first hand I wanted to talk about, and we get cold called by the small blind. As far as I know, I don't know who this player is, so it's probably like a loose passive fishy type player. So what I actually do in this hand is check back, and I'm not sure I'm a big fan of that play because, well, just in terms of balance, like if I actually had, well, I guess this is kind of gets into the debate of like exploitable play and game theory optimal play, but just realistically, from this guy's perspective, if I check back a 7 high board, he's going to perceive me to have literally always high cards. Like even 5s could probably bet or likely bet. And I think with the king of diamonds, I think that's justification enough to put in a C bet. Doesn't necessarily have to be big, but I just feel like checking back is a bit weak. Then we check back the turn. I mean, we could possibly delay c-bet the turn, but we don't have much 6x. Like this guy limp called under the gun. So like we're just representing a6 suited pretty much. 6-7 we would bet. 8-9, like 8-6 suited, we probably all see bet against that guy's positioning and his range. Then we do bet the river, which I think is really bad as well. Like if this guy cold called ace queen, which is in terms of high cards what he would cold call, I think it would look like that. Assuming he's playing somewhat correctly, but maybe he's just like, I don't know, just cold calling whatever he wants. Try and see a flop with like jack 9 suited and then gives up all the time. I don't really know. One bad thing about making this video so far, away from when I played the hands, is that the HUD isn't here. I can't see the HUD, and yeah, I can't make deductions based on that. But yeah, I mean, bluffing this river, like obviously we never win when we check, or rarely win, so I think we should bluff. But like, I think if this guy had ace queen, he should just call, and obviously any pair he's going to call with, so it's a pretty stupid bluff, but it does work, so you know, we should be happy, I guess. Then this hand cropped up, so yeah, that was pretty well, I mean, I didn't put a transition in, but yeah, it just jumps to the next hand, which is pretty cool. You know, there's no downtime for the viewer and for me. So yeah, this is kind of weird. Oops. Okay. So yeah, we got it in against aces, but I don't really think there's any other way to play this hand. So yeah, we have the open, the small 3-bet, the cold 4-bet, which is a decent size, but I'm never flatting any of my range here, like to the 24, and I think my range here is literally just jam, kings plus. Do I just fold queens? I think I just fold queens and ace king. It's close. Maybe ace king suited, a jam as a bluff. But yeah, I think just jamming that is fine. You just got to do what you got to do with kings. I mean, yeah, we're never expecting to be ahead when we get called, but yeah, maybe there's a better way to play the hand. I'm not sure. I don't really think anything else is viable, but whatever. So the king jack off is the next hand I want to talk about. So although this guy is presumably a weaker player because he's got 75 bigs, I call the king jack off here. I don't know why. That's definitely not my standard, but even a 3-bet to like 20 is just sufficient. I mean, we flop really good, but as you'll see with what happens next, like we just get completely demolished, steamrolled. So he pots it, and like we obviously have to call at least once. And then a pretty bad turn card comes. And he pots it again. So we have an easy fold, but I think 3-betting this hand pre-flop would have been way better. Obviously his sizing on the turn is just way too big if he has a flush or a straight. Seems really, I don't know, greedy or scared, or maybe he's just going crazy with aces, I don't know. Then we have the next hand, which is sixes. So I've been raising a couple of limps today, or in this session, and then I had to fold like queen 10 off. Oh yeah, you didn't see that because that was cut out, but similar spot. The player wasn't the same with Mike, but yeah. So this time, although I could maybe fold this hand, I wanted to call just because I felt like I was getting run over in this kind of raise limp fold 3-bet spot. Yeah, and this hand was really strange. I'm not really sure what he 3-bets in this spot, checks with. Like honestly, he looks like he has like kings to be honest, or queens or jacks, you know, stuff like that. He looks pretty strong. So I'm sort of giving up. Like when he checks, I'm actually more afraid than if he c-bet, you know. But I definitely make a mistake on this turn. So here I'm kind of putting him on. I mean, queens could check again, but I think he's got like 10s through to 8s. I mean, they seem too wide to 3-bet or re-isolate, but just the way typically with this line, it's 3-bet and then check check. It's like nearly always an under pair, sorry. I don't really see him having ace queen, but anyway, I think like 32 or 34 is enough. Like, I don't know why I pot it, because I'm kind of representing pocket jacks, but if I have jacks, I don't think I pot it this hard, so I'm actually representing a draw or a bluff like sixes. And we get the fold, which is good, but I think that was definitely a mistake, the sizing being way too big. And then we lead into this hand here, which is the next thing. So, I mean, it's not out of the realms of possibility to like just spew this off as a bluff, because we don't expect him to have pocket threes very often. He doesn't have many ace x 2 pairs. We block pocket nines, and he can't really have aces. But the thing is, we'll have to give up on like all of the club runouts. So, but at the same time, checking and praying to win is also not that viable. But just the fact that we do have some weak check calls on this board texture would imply that I need to check some strong hands here. Because when I do get back to playing for real, I'm going to work a lot more with my random number generator, just to protect my range a lot more, because I felt like I was making a lot of mistakes due to having poorly constructed ranges. So just something to consider. So yeah, I think I'm just check folding this turn. I just pray he's got eights or worse. He doesn't seem like he wants to fight for the pot, but he could just have like jacks maybe, I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not really sure what happened with the ace king versus jacks one. I think maybe I 4-bet and it just checks down. He 3-bets button, I 4-bet out position, and we do win with the jack 9 one, but I'm not sure. I think there's definitely options with the jack 9. Bluff or like check and try to win. So then we got aces top right, which is the next hand. So yeah, it's obviously a really easy pre-flop decision. I just fold the gut shot on a bottom pair versus pot size bet against a weak player or like a fishy player, just because I felt like he was just going to pot the turn and we have to auto fold unless we improve. So we cold 4-bet the aces, and initially I was like, my sizing's too big, but given that I would be cold 4-betting some bluffs with like ace 5 suited or just any hand like that, maybe king queen suited, I don't actually want to go for a small sizing and just induce a load of calls. Like, I do actually want to take down the pot pre-flop a decent amount of time, so I don't really hate my play here. Even though we are going to get a lot of folds, especially because I don't recognise the cutoff. I think the button might be isolating quite a wider range there, but yeah, we do get the call, which is what we wanted. Well, besides a jam, but then we have a post-flop decision coming up. Okay, so the decision I made in real time, I quite liked. So I do go for a check. Because basically, recently I would have just c-bet all of my overpairs like 100% of the time. Then I would have given up some ace kings, and then I would have like c-bet, I don't know, ace king with spades or ace king with diamonds, and just bet all my flush draws and stuff like that. So I would never be. So right now I don't feel like I'm checking enough overpairs in this spot. So I'm quite, I don't know, happy to see that when I was playing really well and getting really good results, you know, this was something I was incorporating into my game. So we do check, which is good. Alright, I think it's good. I'm not sure what's better to check, the aces with the diamond or the aces with no diamond. I don't really think it matters, because these kind of spots are like more like pocket pair wars, where they don't really have many suited speculative hands. Like, I don't really expect them to 3-bet call a ton of queen jack of diamonds, for example. So we check call, which is good. Obviously checking again with a 1-bet back. And then it's weird, like I'm surprised this guy did check back on this turn. I felt like he could just jam everything and get all of my ace kings to fold. Then I think the river. This is close. Like, I mean, so what I chose to do in the moment was to jam, and I think jamming is good because if we have our slow plays, I think I'm jamming my whole range here, maybe. Because if we do somehow check call a flush draw, then we have a flush. If we do sometimes check call over pairs, we probably have the best over pair. And if we did check call ace king because we're getting such a good price, we can maybe get a fold from a chop. So I think jamming everything is okay. Having said that, maybe he does just have, well, he doesn't really have nines, can't really have tens. I guess he could have tens. It's one combo at some frequency. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure everything is fine here, but we do go for the jam. I actually put him more in ace king than I did for like queens or jacks. That's why I thought he'd be hoping for a chop. Then he does call jacks, and like in my opinion that's just a cooler. I didn't think he was that strong. I think he should probably just jam the turn, but whatever. And this hand, my editing is pretty amateur, so we do repeat this hand. Yeah, I think that's it for this one. So yeah, there was 7 minutes of content, and it came out to a 16-minute video, 17-minute video. So yeah, hopefully I will keep plowing through or producing these mini analysis videos. I'm not sure what the best way for me to do them is, so what I can do is edit the hands into a format like this, where we go through them at normal speed, and I'll go through the analysis and pause it every now and then. Or what I can do is get the whole stream up and go through it at like 4 times normal speed and just flit about through the hands and try and do it that way, because obviously like just chopping out boring parts from that segment of gameplay was like, still took me like an hour, but I do have all of the software set up now, so maybe it'll be easier in future. And then yeah, so although this is for me to improve my play and get back to how well I was playing in the past, some of you might basically see this as like a training video, which is good for you. And yeah, I think that's all for today. So yeah, hopefully I'll have like 3 series going from now on. There'll be this one, which is like, yeah, looking back at, well, basically this graph and the gameplay I was producing to produce pretty decent mini bankroll challenge. Then there's going to be the actual bankroll challenge, which I may or may not do. I think it'll be like 40 buy-ins from the micros. Then there's the other series that I'm doing, which is basically how to play, and I think I need to make 3 betting out position. So there might be like 3 series going on. But yeah, we'll see what happens and what I produce. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.